There you go. We're here. Hello, how are you doing? How's everyone doing? Riddlerman, Joshua, Ramon. Ramon, if you have any questions in Spanish, feel free to ask them. Matthew, just Frank. Doing well, doing well. It's one thing I've learned as an adult. It's everything takes longer than you expect. So I'm working on that. So, first question here. Flapping Cardboard asks, as someone who is a new player who's curious on your thoughts about the Box of Greed, what are some of the more standout cards as far as playability, uniqueness, and fun to go? All right, let's pull up the Kickstarter. And so we are at 583,000. Oh, we just dropped $25, but yeah, 583. And let's see, Box of Greed. Get to those in a second. And okay, so starting with the general, Box of Greed, I think, is an amazing product. If anyone is on the fence about it, I've said it many, many times, you should absolutely get the Box of Greed. You should get at least one, if not three. The reasoning behind that is that, especially for new players, if you don't have any of the old cards, this is your best, by far, way to get into kind of the older cards, the older formats, to dip your toes into them. The reason you should get one, at least, is because of the Alliance format, which is a really new format that I think is going to be very popular. And that is a Highlander format where you can only have one of every card in your deck. So getting one Box of Greed covers you on that base. The Box of Greed comes with a lot of really important cards. Not all of them. There's a bunch of them that a lot of people would have liked to see, but are not in the Box of Greed right now. And those are, they're very key cards. There's lots of really important cards in there. A lot of people are kind of hesitant to get the 3 Boxes of Greed because you're also getting a lot of Warlords, and you obviously only need one Warlord, unless you're doing multiple decks with them. And so at the end of the day, they will still be highly desirable. It's a lot of people that are not going to get them. I think one major factor in the Kickstarter right now is that there's a lot of people that don't know that Warlord exists, period. And so I fully believe that there's a lot of people are going to wish that the Box of Greed was still available post Kickstarter. So if you're on the fence about it, you should absolutely get, again, at least one, if not 3. I'll go into specifics in a little bit, see if there's, let me try and get a bunch of questions in first, and then I'll go into like details of specific cards. But there are lots of good cards in there. Just really quickly, off the top of my head, there are 2 very, very, very valuable, hard to find cards, impossible to find cards almost. The Warlord Marcus Shaw. He was a promotional Warlord that was only available to bounty hunters. Bounty hunters were the kind of semi-official, not official AEG. I mean, they're official because that's what they were. They were the tournament organizers for AEG back when they had Warlord. And I meant semi-official because they weren't paid, they weren't employees, but they were the core reason that Warlord expanded so much. They were kind of like the super fans or something. And yeah, so basically there were 2, that was the main Warlord that I think that they got. There were 2 Warlords that were like bounty hunter Warlords. But yeah, Marcus Shaw in general is just really hard to find. And up until before the Kickstarter, there was a standing offer by somebody in the community for like $200 for one of them. So on the low end, the original one was worth $200. Will the price go down? Sure, the price can go down. I mean, $20, $30 maybe, but still, it's still going to be a very desirable card. And again, I do think that there's going to be a lot less availability, supply of the cards than the demand, say 6 to 12 months after the launch of the game, which is supposed to be in October. Let's see. And the second card was Potion of Youth. So anybody who's played Warlord for any amount of time will know that that's one of the ultra, ultra, ultra rare promos that was distributed in very limited quantities. I don't think anybody really knows why. There's like 10 or 12 promos that are just very, 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 very hard to find. There's 2 generations of those. There's one, so the Potion of Youth comes from, I think it's the Siege generation. So there's like 10 or 11 promos from that set. And then at the very end of AEG's reign, holding on to Warlord, was Epic Edition, and so there's a couple of maybe like 5 or 6 promos there that are extremely rare as well and very valuable. But anyway, so a Potion of Youth is worth $500. There's standing offers in the open market right now for an original Potion of Youth for $500. I know of them having been sold for $600 as well. And you need 3 of them if you're going to run them. And so, yeah, there's a lot of value in the Box of Greed. Going on. Wish MLG was in the Box of Greed. Yeah, just Frank's. MLG is a very powerful spell. It's Medusan Lord's Gambit, for those that aren't aware. And that is a spell that can target characters anywhere in the game. So it's very, very strong. Joshua asks, looking forward to the fun celebration of the final countdown, or says, I will be very bummed if I don't hear you rocking some Europe in the final minutes. Rocking some Europe? Riddleman says, yo, my question is, how is Kingswood Games prepared to design new sets and cards? Who do they have on their team that are developers, and what did they work on? I'm not in Kingswood Games, so I wouldn't know the full insides. I don't think that they have onboarded anybody professionally from other games, like they haven't poached anybody. But I know that they have a large following. I know that Warlord in general, ever since AEG, through Phoenix Interactive, and now with Kingswood, has had a very dedicated group of people helping them develop cards. And the guys in general have been playing Warlord for decades. And so they have, I'm sure, lots of ideas to run through with people. And so I have full confidence that they are not short of ideas, and I'm sure that they have plenty of people that are more than happy to help them with design and balance and demoing, playing. Ramon says, I'd like to know, the card layouts are the definitive ones, or are there any changes still happening? So the design of the cards are definitely the definitive ones, as far as I'm aware. They haven't mentioned that they would be considering changing them at all. They are definitely not in the final draft of the cards. I know, again, I'm speculation. I don't know specifics. I don't know the timings of it, but I am under the impression from the bit that we have heard directly from the guys. I believe that some of the money from the Kickstarter is supposed to cover some of the art. And I believe that I would assume that they're also still working on the cards to make sure that the set is as perfect as can be, which is probably why they did not spoil everything. Clapping Board says, thank you. I backed the Warlord level and plan on mainly playing casual Alliance. Yeah, I keep wanting to say Alliances as well. That's going to be a problem going forward. But I have been able to kind of train myself to only type out Alliance, but it does sound like it should be called Alliances. Yeah, it's going to be a great format. I'm looking forward to it. The little bit that I've thought about, it definitely gets those creative juices going. It's going to be a very, very fun format. All right, let me go into a couple of those cards. So there's a lot of Warlords. Mass Blessing is amazing. That's in the Box of Greed. You definitely need that ×3 if you're playing anything, any clerics in the Ancients format. Shadow Reaver is incredibly important as well. He's a fighter, level 4 mercenary, very powerful. 3 hit points, so you're definitely going to want 3 of those if you're playing Ancients with any fighters whatsoever, and any other like wizards or clerics. What else do we have? They're going to be doing the new MRP, so Gedneri is going to go back to what it used to be. There's some amazing Warlords. Sir Alaron is incredible in there. I know that we unlocked Stonefist. It's going to be an amazing card. Those are very, very difficult to find as Warlords. Nilrim is ridiculous. Nilrim, I mean, on the open market right now is like $60. And so, yeah, you can get a playset of those. Again, get 3 of them. Incinerate, it's another amazing spell. Generally, a playset of those is usually around $100, I think, right now. There's a bunch of commons in here. Gunda is an amazing common. You definitely, if you're playing Nothrogs, you're going to want 3 of those. Necklace of Spell Storing, that only came in 1 set at like 1 card. Like you couldn't get more than 1 other than buying multiple decks. And so that's pretty hard to find. What else in there? Obliterate, that's ridiculously expensive and difficult to find. That came from APS 18, and for the past 2.5 years, they've basically been impossible to find. And so that is easily a give or take $50 card. So yeah, there's tons of value in the box of greed. What else? Torn Yeskar, you absolutely need one of those for any format. He's legal. He's basically the Black Lotus of Warlord. Conjure Storm, also one of my favorite cards, and never was available as a non-foil, so it's going to be cool to get one as a non-foil. And we have unlocked as well let's see, Box of Greed, we've unlocked the figurines. We've unlocked the figurines of Power, Wonder, Protection, and Trickery. Those are very important. And so we absolutely need, there's a particularly figurine of Protection. That's the most important one, the Clerics. That's really good. What else did we get? We got Talib, we got Sir Robert, we got General Lund. Heavy Charger, that's super important as well. One of the best fighter steeds. Extra hit points. Let's see, what else? Where are we? There a format that lets you use Dragon Lords. Yes, every format will have Dragon Lords available and legal. The Saga format in itself, I don't think will. None of them are going to be legal out of the gate. So starting, but there will be Dragon Lords available through the challenge program, and I know that once the Dragon Lords are released, I believe they plan on printing them like 6 months later in sets, and those, once they're available, worldwide, then you'll be able to use them in the Saga format. But in Ancients and in Alliance, Dragon Lords are legal and available. You can only have one in a deck though. Typheria is also an awesome card. She was never available as a non-foil, so we're getting her here as that as well. And she comes in the treasure chest, which is also a very difficult to find set. Sealed is impossible to find. Adarimi, she is in the Box of Greed as well, an amazing warlord. We don't get her original art, we get the chibi art, but just getting her at all is very powerful. And Spencer Latham as well, amazing card. And so you'll be getting him in the Box of Greed. He's the level 1 Free Kingdoms with 2 strikes. Very, very powerful. We also get Heaven's Wrath, which is a 4th edition level 4 wizard spell. I'm a huge fan of the air spells, and so I really like the idea that they can kind of chain off of each other. So we get one of those as well. And we also, I think we've unlocked Massacre. We've unlocked Tybust, which is amazing as well. And we've unlocked Alloy Gargoyle now. So we are at, where are we at now? We're at 585, let me reload. Yeah, we're still at 585 with 98 minutes to go. So we're very close to unlocking the next set, which is at 600. And that has Sareen, Destruction, Justinian, and Peyton Latham. All very good cards as well. So hopefully we make it. We've only got an hour and a little bit over an hour left. Hour and a half. Will we be able to buy more boxes of greed in the Pledge Manager after the campaign is concluded, or is the only way through them the current pledge? So yes, you can get them in the Pledge Manager, but we highly suggest that you get them now, at least a few, again, the 2 or 3, just to help out with getting to the next level, because if we get to the next level, we get those 4 more cards. So we need another, what? We say 15,000? Yeah, we need another $15,000 in the next 90 minutes. It's doable, very doable. So yeah, the more you can get, the better now. Right. So yeah, the Box of Greed is not anything. There are no cards in there now that are Saga legal, but you don't know if any of them are going to become Saga legal at some point, because they can make them Saga legal. Somebody mentioned foils previously. So foil availability and variety. There's going to be 1 foil in every 3 packs in the new set. Yeah. No. Hold on a second. That's previously. Sorry. So, yeah. 1 moment. Here. Where was this? They put it in the FAQ, I think. I think there's a foil in every pack. That's what it was. Legendary cards will place a rare slot 1 in 8 packs, and extended art cards will place a foil card in 1 in 6 packs. Okay, so that means that they're going to be, I don't know if they're foil extended or if they're just extended art. So that means that you're getting foils 5 out of every 6 packs, which means that you're getting 20 foils per box. I do know that there are foils available for every card in the boosters. Let's see. Does everyone know how the challenge system works at all? Somebody mentioned here the Dragon Lords. So the Warlord challenge system is super unique to Warlord itself. Basically, you have Overlords, Dragon Lords, and Medusan Lords. Overlords are only available through special Overlord tournaments. And the way it worked is that you would play out the tournament and you would challenge the Overlord in order of play position. So first place would get first challenge, second place, second challenge, and so on and so forth. And if you beat the Overlord deck, you got to keep it. If you lost, then the next place got to play and try to challenge the Overlord. If nobody wins, then it just goes on to the next week. Once you have an Overlord, you can challenge a Dragon Lord. Dragon Lords are usually only available at special events, big events, and you would have to go to a Dragon Lord runner specifically and go up to them and challenge them. You have to have a unsigned Overlord in your hand, and they will sign them. Now, there's some discussion on, as to whether they'll be changing that system. Somebody mentioned punching holes in the cards. I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, basically, they physically sign your card, and so that is your ticket to be able to challenge the Dragon Lord. If you win, you get to keep the Dragon Lord. If you lose, nothing happens. You have to try again. Once you have a Dragon Lord, then you can try to go to a large event where there are Medusan Lords. Medusan Lords are cards where they're basically unique. Supposedly, it's rumored that there are 3 Medusan Lord, or 3 cards of any one Medusan Lord, and basically the runner gets to keep 1 kind of forever. 1 goes to the artist, and then if somebody beats the runner, then they get a copy. I'm interested in seeing the new Medusans. Yes, we're all super excited to see what comes up as Medusans. And then Enoch asks, I'm really excited for this, or mentions, I played back when the game was included in Inquest magazine. Yeah, magazines, those are old, right? Are there any gaming magazines anymore? Yeah, the world is is a very different place to what it was 20 years ago when Warlord was alive and well originally. Yeah, so I've been playing since 2001. I did not get in on the demo decks, but I used to play Pokemon, and as I grew up, I started finding these other games, and one of my friends said, hey, let's try this out. My parents didn't let me play with Magic, so I jumped in on that, on Warlord, and I never looked back. I've been playing Warlord ever since, and that was way back in Saga, so before Assassin's Strike came out. What else? Medusan Lords are basically impossible to kill. There's a few people that have done, which is wild. There are I think 2, maybe 3 people that have killed more than 1. It's nuts. You have to be extremely lucky. And there's also something called the Sunday Curse, which is basically at any con, the person who's been running the Medusan Lord is kind of so fatigued and tired and over it that's kind of your best chance to actually beat them. Let's see. Warlord formats. So we've got multiple formats, obviously. We will be playing, since it's been a while, some Medusan Story Tournament. Hold on a sec. Interested in Medusan, I'm really excited. Yeah, since it's been a while, weren't some Medusan Story Tournament rewards? Medusan's Story Tournament rewards. I know that there was one Medusan that was given out as at an auction. And I only kind of remembered. I think I knew this a long time ago, but I completely forgot about it. So I was doing a lot of research over the past couple of days, and yeah, I found the actual details. So basically, Warlord through the AEG period had XP, experience points. When you bought like a booster pack, I think it was 1 XP, and I think a deck might have had 3 or 5. I don't remember for sure. Actually, I have one here. Pull it up. Funny, the first one I opened was this one, so this counterattack, and as you can see, it's missing the actual flap in there, and that was the XP. So I found one here, campaign edition. Got a bunch of old boxes here, and here you go, 4 XP. So yeah, so you would be able to send those in for promos, for booster packs, for all kinds of stuff. And there was a Medusan Lord kind of ability that was auctioned off at Gen Con once. I want to say 2006, I think. Maybe 2007. Yeah, it might have been 2007, which was just before kind of the end of AEG dropping. I think they dropped it officially in like January of 2008. And it wasn't until 2008 Gen Con that it came out again. I'm not 100% sure, but roughly that. And so anyway, so this Medusan Lord basically was won at an auction for 5,000 XP. So a deck having 4, that means you would have had to have, what, 1,000 decks? No, more than that, 1,300 decks or something. These were $12 each at the time. So it was a lot of money. Each booster pack was 1 XP, I know that for sure. And so, yeah, that's like 5,000 booster packs. I mean, a booster box had 48 packs, so that's, what, 100 booster boxes? What? XP was at least continued early with Phoenix. It might have been continued, but I don't know exactly how it worked. I know that Phoenix had gold points, which they would give out with promos. I don't think the program was nearly as, I don't know if I want to say successful, more like didn't work as much as it did with AEG. I know that AEG had it going. I was doing a bunch of research in the past couple of days, and so I saw that a lot of the, I guess, promo requests exchange for XP. Like, there were a lot of rares that they would give away for XP for like 15 or 20 XP. You'd have to ship in the XP, and then they would mail it back to you. You'd have to send them, obviously, a self-addressed envelope or something. Very old school. Let's see, and nice, yeah, Frank, yeah. Still, again, even until, again, 2000, when did the iPhone come out? The iPhone came out in 2008, I think, yeah. So yeah, just imagine that, the iPhone 2 and iPhone 3G, that was in 2008. So Warlord's only around for 4 more years after that. It's been a long time. But yeah, as far as I know, that was the only reward Medusan Lord that they gave out, just Frank asked. I think most of the time the Medusans were people that were important in the community. And so like you would kind of evolve. You would be a normal bounty hunter first, and then little by little, then you'd become a Dragon Lord. So like if you traveled a lot, if they noticed that you were very active, they'd kind of promote you to being a Dragon Lord. And it's funny because actually in the past, again, from the research that I was doing, I saw that there was a page you could email Dragon Lords to like request an event, and they actually had their challenge like what's it called, record, their challenge record of how many challenges they've won and how many they had lost. And so some of them had, you know, in the hundreds. Let's see. So Enoch says, one challenge I have is I live in Iowa and don't have many players around here. I want to try and grow the community and run tournaments at my LGS and even run an Overlord. How would I apply? So Enoch, first of all, I actually have it linked down below. We have updated the player map. So in the description of the video, there's the warlordcards.com/user map. If you click on that, register for the player map. And that is going to be one of the best ways to find players near you and for new players to find you. Obviously, if you can, be on the Facebook group. That's one of the best places to meet other people and to chat about Warlord. And also the Discord. Discord is one of the best places to, again, also chat about Warlord online. And that's also through the Discord that they do lots of the tournaments online every month, I think. And in order for you to find new players, one of the best things you can do is to download the demo decks on the Kickstarter and demo them at your store. Hopefully your store has signed up with the Meet at the Inn tier on Warlord for the Kickstarter. That way they have access to better than retail prices. They only have to pay $1, and that gives them access to the tier. They don't need to order anything now. Everything they order is going to be after the fact. And they will, yeah, they'll get discounted product. So yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, I think that everything that you do when you're trying to promote the game it's all little by little. So as you teach more people with the demo decks and become more involved in the community, I'm sure that you would be able to slowly but surely become a tournament organizer. That's one of the things that Kingswood has not explained yet. They haven't explained exactly how their system is going to work. I'm sure they're going to get to that. Right now, they're working on just getting the product out there. It's kind of the most important part. You said story tournament rewards. I don't know if if there were any story rewards. I know that there were tournament rewards, so I know they gave out Medusans a few times as tournament prizes at Gen Con, but most of those were actually donated from people who have won them, which is wild, obviously. Incredible. But yeah, I know one of the craziest stories is Chris Vack, that tool guy, the other Warlord, one of the other Warlord content creators. He actually donated one of his Medusan Lords to a tournament, and then he ended up winning first place, so he won the Medusan Lord back, which is nuts. That's how good he is. Kolat is saying, thank you again for your care packages sent to the content creators. I'm an LGS owner with a group of former Warlord players ready to meet at the inn again. Yes, that is awesome. That was an exhausting experience, just because it did require a lot of back and forth. It required a lot of research. It required, obviously, sending these people a lot of stuff. I mentioned to them that I'm in kind of a unique position to have some sealed product. I know that a lot of people don't have them. I know that the guys behind Warlord itself have sold off most of their collections to help fund the game. And so I felt like it was something that I could do to try and help out. And hopefully the content creators have now, now that they're aware that Warlord exists, as Warlord continues to grow and be developed and created, hopefully they'll want to pick it up and keep discussing it in the future. Let's see, just Frank, absolutely. Here in Oklahoma, we had Jeremiah Usselton who ran a Medusan. Yes, I've heard. So again, as I was doing all this research these past couple days, at least not more than a week, his name has popped up a lot. I know that he was a very, very involved and important community member. I know that his name has been discussed for some sort of prize or something to honor him in this new 5th edition of Warlord. Unfortunately, I never met him, so I don't know him at all as a person, but I do. I mean, anybody who knows kind of anything about the lore of Warlord has heard about him, that's for sure. Clappin' Cardboard says, in the Kickstarter video, they had a clip from an old Dice Tower video with Tom Vassell saying he wished they would remake this game. Do you know if they ever reached out to Dice Tower for promotion? So I know that the guys at Kingswood reached out specifically and are working very, I don't know, hand in hand with, what are these people called? The, hold on, research this now, I'm really bad with names. Warlord. There we go. Covenant, Team Covenant, sorry, I'm terrible with names. So I know that they are working directly or hand in hand with Team Covenant to kind of advertise Warlord as much as possible. I don't know the specifics of that at all. I just know that is, they've mentioned many times that they are their partners. So again, I wanted to try and help plug that small hole in the wall and try and get as much product to a bunch of other content creators as possible. Let's see. Clapin Cardboard also said, yeah, I enjoy the content creator vids as well. And actually, guys, a lot of that has not come out yet. So I sent to about 15 content creators. So, I mean, stay tuned, I guess. There's going to be a lot more coming out. I think we only got about 6 of them. Unfortunately, I started late. I mean, everything takes longer than I expect. And again, we also had that long weekend, so that really didn't help shipping us at all either. And a lot of content creators are actually outside the country. And so the shipping has been stuck at customs for the past week and a half or so for a bunch of content creators. So it hasn't even left the States yet. And so there's a couple of other smaller content creators that have not published videos yet. But yeah, there's definitely going to be more videos coming out, hopefully. You know, again, can't. What I mentioned to all of them was simply, you know, they can do whatever they feel is right with the stuff that I give them, and yeah, you can't force or guarantee anything. You kind of just shoot it out into the void and hope for the best. So yeah, do you know if they ever reached out to Dice Tower? So that was the original question. Sorry, tangents. No, I don't think that they reached out to Dice Tower at all. I know that Dice Tower actually did mention the Warlord Kickstarter recently. They did a live thing like this, a live stream with a bunch of other people. So there's like four or five of them in there in the video. And they were basically just going over a bunch of different Kickstarter projects. And in that like 3-hour live stream, they mentioned the Warlord Kickstarter for 4 or 5 minutes, I think. That guy, Tom, he mentioned he was less than enthusiastic about the idea that Warlord is not a living card game. So he did some videos. Obviously, he was very happy with the idea of Warlord and everything the way it was originally, but he was disappointed that they have chosen to go the route of a TCG or CCG versus an LCG. Living card game basically just means that you get a guaranteed set number of cards. So like you're supposed to, it's like a board game. You just, instead of a board game, it's a card game, but you know what you're getting every time you buy it, and you don't need to officially, there's no rarity. So 4th edition was kind of a mix of a CCG with an LCG, in the sense that you would get, you know, if you were to get the full set, you would get 3 of every common, 2 of every uncommon, 1 of every rare. Whereas a fully LCG set would basically be getting 1 of every single card. All right. Yeah. So unfortunately, he was less than happy with the way Warlord is going to be distributed. But he did mention that he really liked it, and so I don't know. Maybe some more reviews will be coming out of them once Warlord is actually available. I think he mentioned backing it as well. There were like 4 or 5 guys there, and I think they mentioned backing the Kickstarter. Anyway, David Barnett says, lots of people on the Discord, and we have channels for different regions. Yes, there are channels for different regions, and the more people that show up, the more channels can be opened. And Enoch says he has registered, or they have registered on the map, and that they're the only player in their state. You wouldn't happen to be the person in Alaska, would you? I think there's only one person in Alaska. For now. Again, Warlord is still, the biggest problem with Warlord right now is that people don't know it exists. And there's a lot of people that loved Warlord, but I'm not sure that they're aware that Warlord is coming back. I think that there's always a lot of excitement from a lot of people. There's people that say they played Warlord when they were in high school or 10, 15 years ago, and that it's one of their favorite games. A lot of people have really felt that Warlord is an incredibly unique card game. It's very different from a bunch of other card games. Strategy is incredible, the cards are incredible, the art's incredible, the lore is incredible, the challenge system is incredible. So Warlord has a lot of goodwill in the past. I think it's just a question of people seeing the product on shelves. And a lot of complaints recently on the Kickstarter have been about not being, enough transparency with what there is in the set and everything. A lot of people would have really liked to get, A lot of people would have really liked to get the whole set spoiled, and have just more information about the cards, just to really fire them up. And so I'm not one of those people. I'm excited. There's a lot of us that are very blindly in love with the brand and the company and the people, and so we will do everything we can to make it happen. But a lot of people that don't have that information or that blind dedication to the brand are a little bit more interested in just finding out more and seeing what speaks to them, what factions speak to them, and everything. I know a lot of people were also a little bit fussed about the starter decks, that they didn't want to have to buy all 6 starter decks. And as many people mentioned, it was difficult to kind of break them down because it just wasn't financially reasonable. I know the little that I know about this whole process is that they have to pay for like the picking. So if it's one item, it costs them the same to pay somebody to ship one deck as it does to ship one the deck kit or one booster box or whatever. So even if that's just $1, that really brings down the margin, makes it very impractical to be doing such a small product. And so, I mean, they're going to be available. They're going to be everywhere, hopefully. Else in LGSs will be able to order as much as they want afterwards. People will be able to buy just the deck that they want. So David Barnett says, offer to run a demo event at your local store, especially between now and October. Do it before and after the games you already played. Do it during casual Commander night, stuff like that. Yeah, obviously, just the only thing you can do is be present and try to show people the game. Get the word out there, because again, people just don't know that Warlord exists. David says, yeah, you are a hero for that, honestly. I don't know that I would say that, but again, it felt like a responsibility more than anything else. It's just something that not many people were able to do. And a lot of these content creators are people that I backed, that I follow myself originally. So it was, some of them I've even had contact with and beforehand. And so it was relatively easy to kind of start that communication and be able to say, hey, I'm a fan. I really like this as well. Any chance that you'd be interested in doing this thing? And again, it's a shame that the international content creators didn't have a chance to actually do their videos before the Kickstarter ended. But at the end of the day, like I mentioned, it's not all just about the Kickstarter. It's a long game. The Kickstarter, the more successful it is now, the better. But at the end of the day, what really matters is just getting people out there to know that Warlord exists at all. That's the hard part. Zant Primus says, I wonder when we will learn who the Dragonlord and Medusa Lord backers are. You will learn. You'll know sooner than later, I'm sure. I don't know that you'll ever find out about the Dragonlord backers, because technically those aren't public information. The Medusa Lord runners you're going to know, because obviously they're going to be running Medusa Lords. It seems you could theoretically obviously just keep your Medusan forever, but that seems silly. The whole point of the Medusa Lord is to accept challenges. So I assume that it will be very public knowledge who the Medusa Lords are. I think my biggest question is actually how many Medusa Lords are going to be available in this 5th edition in the next, I want to say 6 months, just because obviously, again, priority is get product out. They are on a very, very limited schedule, because Gen Con is August 1st, so they have 2 months to get this out there. That is wild. Now, again, the general release is not for August 1st. The general release is going to be for October. I don't know exactly how much product they plan on having at Gen Con, but the fact that they plan on having product at all at Gen Con, it's already just wild. again, as I mentioned earlier, everything takes longer than I could have possibly expected. So I mean, I don't doubt that they're going to do it. You know, they're going to do whatever it is they have to. But it is definitely going to be a very tight schedule for them. Very lucky I suck. As an LGS who's backed the game through the meat at the end tier, what should we be doing next? Do we need to sign up for OP or anything like that? So no, you do not need to sign up for anything yet. They don't have organized play. They haven't shared their plans for organized play at all yet, so we don't know how that's going to work. Again, I'm 100% sure that they're entirely focused on just trying to get the product out because of the limited timeline. I'm assuming that they will address that probably around October, so maybe just before, if not, you know, the weeks right after launch of the product, once people actually get product in hand. And what do you need to be doing now? I mean, as an LGS, obviously your biggest goal should be to try and get as many pre-orders as possible. Your window to order, I believe, should be about 3 to 4 weeks after the Kickstarter. So basically, roughly the month of June. So throughout the month of June, you will be able to place your order. They haven't specified. We don't know. I've done a lot of Kickstarters in the past, like back them. And so it varies a little bit with every Kickstarter, but generally within the first week, they send out surveys, and that's to collect everybody's addresses, their information, everything. And then before you lock basically your order, you're allowed to put more things onto your order. So yeah, you'll, as an LGS, you'll have all that time to be able to do sales. David Barnett, I think most of us prefer the CCG version, not to mention that it also helps the LGSs actually support the product. Yes, that is a hugely important thing. It's crazy. Like, it's a very important topic. There's a lot of people that are very pro living card game format, and they believe that to play the game, you should have access to all of the cards. And obviously, there is value to that argument, but unfortunately, I think the perspective that a lot of us have now learned is that that is not financially viable for the people that support the games, for the network. And even then, a lot of LGSs will say that they're kind of like the worst part of being an LGS is having all of that dead retail space, which are, you know, the games, the space to play the games. And so basically, it's already tough to have local card game, local game store. And so in order for that to be financially viable, they need a way to maintain interest and for people to consistently purchase a bit of product. So for better or for worse, boosters are probably the best way to do that. And it is fun, of course. Who doesn't like cracking packs? I've opened a bunch of, again, to ship out some stuff to people. I had to open a couple of decks that I had here and there. And, you know, there isn't as much, not as exciting to unwrap decks as it is to crack packs. David Barnett says, I'm the only one in Utah on the map for now, but I know that there are more players here, so still looking around for players and encouraging them to add themselves. Yes, that's one of the best things you can do right now, is to get as many people signed up onto the player map as possible. The more people we have on the player map, obviously the easier it's going to be to actually get more people to play. Clipping Cardboard says, I need to see that video, but Dice Tower are very anti-CCG for whatever reason. Yep, exactly. Instead of telling folks about the game mechanics, they immediately shoot it down because of the way it's distributed. Yeah, I don't know why. Again, those people are they're avid believers in the LCG model, and again, if that works for them, great. But unfortunately, to the shops, it's not really profitable. It's not financially viable for them to do that. Zed Primus says, as a TO during 4E, prize support was a headache. Yes. So 4th edition is a very unique situation. One of the major problems with 4th edition was that it was created out of basically, it's not a basement, but just for the sake of doing that, it was created out of one guy's basement. And so he was mostly a one-man shop, and it was very hard for him to create the game. And so everything was created and printed in Europe, and by doing that, they basically had to ship everything to the US, And that was a problem. Not only did it take a lot of time, there was a lot of issues with shipping as well, where stuff would get lost or damaged or whatever. And then once it was shipped here in the States, it had to go to somebody, one of the long-term players of the game, and he would distribute it to a bunch of people. So there was just a lot of things on the chain of command and the process that were very problematic to 4th edition. Derek Ray says, hype. Yes, there's a lot of hype right now. We're all very excited for Warlord coming back. Collat says, there's a form in the Kickstarter where you can tell them that you are interested in organized play. Yes, for all the stores out there, that is the best thing you can do, is to sign up, not only as Meet at the Inn, but of course the forums. Let's see how we're doing here. We're still going up a little bit. We're at 587, so we need to 13,000. We're going up a little bit more. 588. Wow, somebody made a big order. All right, so we have 12,000 more. 12,000 more, and we have, let's see, 66 minutes to go. So we have just over an hour left, and under 12,000 to make it to the next tier. Let's see. Stretch goal. To make it a stretch goal, that's what it is. Yeah, 600,000 is the stretch goal, and we are 588. It's a shame that they're not adding, obviously, the all the orders from stores to the stretch goals. Obviously, that would throw us way over the 600,000. But it is what it is. That's how Kickstarter works. So that's where we're at. Clapping Cardboard asks, is Warlord going to be at any other conventions other than Gen Con? They will be going forward, but for now, Gen Con is kind of the launch point, is what I understand. I believe Origins just happened or is about to happen, but there was no way they would be able to make it. So Gen Con is the start. I don't know specifically where that came from, but I know that Gen Con is kind of the impetus, the reason, and one of the major points where Warlord kind of always launches. Kind of their big new stuff. I know 4th edition launched Gen Con in 2008. I was there. That was really cool. But yeah, Gen Con is kind of the main event every year. Yep, exactly. All right, let me see if I have any smaller dice here. 1 sec. Do some giveaways now. Sant Primus says Cohit used to be a big Warlord tournament. I don't know if that still fires though. I'm not sure it'll still fire now, but I'm sure that it will in the future. David says, talk about the Alliance format. I was so excited seeing that video from the Covenant. It actually got me to add Boxes of Greed to my Kickstarter. Yes, absolutely. You should definitely be doing, again, Boxes of Greed. I'm a huge fan. I've been telling everybody to order as many Boxes of Greed as you can afford because they are very, very, again, the value's there. They're super important. There's a lot of amazing cards that come in there. And there's a lot of people that don't know about Warlord, so there's going to be huge demand for them in the future. Yeah, so for those that weren't here last time, there's 20 people now. Let's do 1 through 10, right? Yeah, this goes, yeah, that's a 10-sided die. All right, so I have some Warlords to give away. Let's do some of those now. So the rules last time were you type in a number in the chat. We'll do 1 through 10 first. 1 through 10, and the first person that types a certain number, you are the person that owns that number, but you have to do it in chronological order. So don't just type out 10. You need to do like 1 and wait for 2 and then wait for 3 and et cetera, et cetera. So the first person to do number 1, number 2, number 3, see number 6. No, you have to start at 1. So it has to be in chronological order. So start at 1, and then once 1 is done, then you have to do 2. And so like maybe 3 people will say 1. The next person, the person that says 2 first gets it, then you say 3, then go on. All right, there we go. So I see 1. So basically there, David gets 1. Clap in cardboard, you would have to do 2 now. So 1 through 10. I've got a 10-sided die, so 1 through 10, guys. Yeah, there we go, that's 2. So now I need 3. Might be a delay. 4. There we go, 5. Nope, we need clapping. There we go, just Frank got 5. I need 6 now. We need 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But in numerical order, guys. Yep, there's 6. Now I need 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm a drummer, so I can only count to 4. I play the cello, and the violin, and the piano. Not very well, though. All right, we need 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we'll do the first giveaway. Seven, 8, 9, and 10. You guys can do more than 1 if you want. There we go, 7. I need 8. AC. No, you didn't get 4 because you put it in after the 5. It has to be in numerical order. Whoever gets the first. There we go, 9. I need 10 now, and we're good. No, AC, you got to do 10 now. I need to figure out a good way to communicate this. It's kind of hard for me. There you go. Thank you. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to roll, and then we'll pick from these warlords, and that'll be yours. There we go. 6. It's a percentile die, but yeah. So 6 got it. And I'm going to make sure that's not 9. Yeah, it's actually, no, that's 9. That's dumb. There's no dot on the bottom. I don't know. 0, 2, 4. Yeah, they're not in numerical order. That's dumb. All right, I said 6 first, so we're going to give it to 6. Usually no. Let's try and... Yeah, no, there's lag. I'm sorry. Let's try and make it 1 per person, but if not, if it gets slow, then we can let people do more than 1. So that would be you, Matthew. You're getting... What are you getting? Are these are shuffled, right? They are shuffled, so I have no idea what you're going to get. Let's cut in the middle. Matthew, you are getting a Kerberos. OG. So that is Warlord number 1, Matthew. My contact info is in the description. Please email me your address with the number of Warlord that you get. And I'll get that out to you. You won a few last time, didn't you, Matt? 8 people viewing. I see 19. 19 watching now. Could be wrong, though. I don't know if my end is wrong. Yeah, I see 20 concurrent viewers right now. Not everybody's in the chat. I think you might have to be, I think you have to be subscribed in order to chat, maybe. So I don't know if everyone is subscribed. Live chat. Yeah, okay, I see 18. It's jumping up and down a little bit. Yeah, that's why I thought with 10 we should have enough. If we get to like 25 or 30, then we'll jump to a 20-sided die, but for now we'll stay at 10. All right, how's the Kickstarter doing? We are at, come on people, message friends. 589, we're almost at 590. 10,000 more. Guillaume. Pretty sure that's Portuguese, right? All right. Let's see, what else? Alliances format, that's what you were asking about, right? So the Alliances format is a new format. I've never played it before. I'm super excited, though, to try that format out. I know that a lot of the Warlords that they're adding into the Box of Greed is specifically in anticipation of people starting to play the Alliance format. And so it's good that they're recirculating them, because a lot of those Warlords are very rare, and the format is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be crazy fun. It's interesting that the format goes against a little bit of the way that we've always played Warlord, in the sense that you can only play mercenaries in the format if you have a mercenary Warlord, but otherwise it seems really exciting. And don't worry, Matthew, yeah, whoever wins, we got plenty of Warlords here for everybody. I'd like to give away more, so let's do another one. 1 through 10, guys. Really? Church Enforcer? All right, so AC, you would have to do 2 now. Derek got 1. No, we need 2. There we go. Matthew got 2. Now we need 3. David, you got 3. We need 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's 4. We need 5. I'm very lucky I suck. Maybe you're very lucky that I suck. Yeah. I'm terrible at rolling. 6. 7. We need 8. Almost there. No, we need 8. We need 8, 9, 10. No, we need 8, 9, and 10. So 8 first, guys. There we go. Now we need 9 and 10. Nine and 10. There's 9. We need 10. There we go. Perfect. Thank you, Teddy. All right, let's roll again. You know what? I don't like that this has 6 and 9 the same. I'm just going to use a 20-sided die, and then 11 through 20 will be just 1 through 10. 18, so that'll be 8. So that is you, Clapping Cardboard. Please email me your address and let me know that you won number 8. And so you will be getting... You're getting a Corios Bodok elf from Eye of the Storm. That's awesome, Enoch. Watching while at work. So, clapping. You guys said you have LGSs. Let us know where your LGSs are. Go ahead and shout. Let's shout out your LGSs. And yeah, you guys can start the next countdown to another. We've got 1 already with AC. He started us off. 2 to 10. Oh, so Clappin', you've never played Warlord. That's awesome. Yes, Teddy, I am a huge fan. You should absolutely pick up at least 3 boxes of Greed. There we go. We got 2, we got 3, we got 4, we got 5. Awesome. We need 6 through 10 now. 7 through 10. 8 through 10. 9 and 10. We just need a 10 now. Nice. Okay. Let's see. 10. There we go. So that is you. Very lucky I suck. I have to say that every time you win now. And let's give you this one. So you're getting a Logan Evanwolf, that OG from the very first set. Remember, email me your address. My email is in the description. Kolak, you have alternate dimensions. Paloma, Tennessee. Never been to Tennessee. I gotta get there. That was Warlord number 3. Very lucky. Number 3, very lucky. All right, so yeah, back to Teddy. Teddy asked again whether or not we should be getting the Boxes of Greed. Yes, Boxes of Greed have a lot of value. I went over it earlier, just to not repeat entirely, but there's a lot of value. There's a lot of cards in there that are very powerful cards. And if you don't want to use them, there will be lots of people that are going to want to use them in the future. And I think that there's a lot of people that, again, are either on the fence about Boxes of Greed and they're not getting them, or don't even know about Warlord and they're not going to get them yet. And so there will be a very high demand for Boxes of Greed. I want to guesstimate 6 to 12 months, at least 6 to 12 months after Warlord launches. So it's a great way to pick up a lot of value cards. And in a worst case scenario, you'll be able to trade them away or sell them to somebody. But I would highly suggest getting at least 3. So there's a couple of LGSs here. That's awesome. So David is saying, I'm playing at Game Grid in Spanish Fork, Utah. My brother lives in Utah. Derek Ray, Game Nut Lawrence in Kansas. Just Frank, Game Headquarters in Oklahoma City. And Clappin Cardboard says, my LGS is Darby's Dungeon in Jacksonville, Florida. Nice. You live at the what some people would consider the center of evil. Not only Florida, but I think Rudy's hometown right now. David Barnett says, with legendaries being a thing, having trade fodder is going to be even better than it used to be. Absolutely. Legendaries are going to be a lot harder to find than most people expect. You only get 3 per box, and if you need a full playset, I think we calculated it out. You need to buy like 20 boxes if you want 3 of every legendary and 1 of every legendary Warlord. And that's if, in a perfect world, you don't get any repeats, which obviously is going to happen. Let's see how we're doing quickly. 590, almost 592. We have 8,000 more. We're almost there. That's awesome. All right. Very Lucky says A to Z in Blue Springs. What state? I'm sure there's a lot of places that are called Blue Springs here in the States. Zant Primus says, just changed my order to add a Box of Greed to use as prize support for my LGS. Absolutely. People are going to love it. So that's funny that you mentioned that. Boxes of Greed, originally, I don't know if anyone knows what they are. Hold on. Oh, this one's a little beat up, but I actually have some here. I'm glad I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. There we go. Here is a piece of Warlord history. Turn these around without dropping them. So this is why it's called a Box of Greed. I think a lot of people that never played Warlord have no idea what they are. And turn them around so that they're this way, and somebody might be able to read them. If not, you'll be able to pause this in the future. Leave that there for a moment. Hopefully it's stable enough to read. All right, so story behind the Box of Greed. Let me see if this has any description in it. No, these don't. Let me grab another one. I don't know if any of the, no, none of the ones that I have on hand have the description. But anyway, so originally, they had a little sticker here, and you can actually see that this one is damaged. Had a sticker in there that said something along the lines of, you're supposed to basically give one. The Box of Greed was a promotional item that AEG sent to LGSs, and you would get 100 or 150 rares and promos in them. And the idea was that every time somebody bought a booster pack, you would be able to pull one of those cards like as a free promotion, kind of incentivizing obviously people buying more packs. So anyway, so that's the whole reason why it's called the Box of Greed. And so that's a great idea there, Xanth Primus, changing your order to add the Box of Greed to use prize support. So basically, I would, be very in line with the lore and the reason behind the Box of Greed to basically give people either participating in a tournament or maybe the top 4 winners or whatever, allowing them to pull at random from what's in the Box of Greed. Again, really, really great, because it's $120 and you're getting like 80 cards right now or something. Like, I don't know the exact number, but you're getting a lot of cards. And so it's like $1.50 per card, and they're very good cards. They're going to be very desirable. Especially, again, like the Potion of Youth is impossible to find. And that's not going to be a cheap card. That's probably going to be the most expensive card in the Box of Greed long term, by far, just because of how expensive the original one is and how playable it is. So the issue is the only previous example that we have of that is the Mephit. The Mephit is a card that was also about as rare as the Potion of Youth, kind of in the same time period. And that was reprinted in the 10-year anniversary set. Unfortunately, the Mephit is not exactly an incredible card. It's not bad. It's a level 2 character with 16 AC, but otherwise, it's not like an incredibly playable card. It's okay, but its value was very much rooted in how rare it was as a promo. The Potion of Youth is not that. Potion of Youth is a lot of value in how rare it is, but it is actually playable. And so, yeah, people are going to want to get it long term. And so the fact that it won't be, that it's still not a huge, I don't know, obviously we don't know what the exact numbers are of Boxes of Greed that will be given out, but that I fully anticipate the Potion of Youth to be the most valuable card of the Box of Greed for a long time, if not, kind of forever in history. All right. So, got a couple comments here. Let's go back up, catch up with a couple of them. So Matthew Clow says, what do you think about the decision to release chibi print versions of the characters? Chibi prints. So I'm not personally a huge fan of the idea of chibis. It doesn't bother me. I'm not against them. And especially, I'm happy for the people that really, really do enjoy them. And I think it's actually a perfect way to re-release the cards, because it gives people cards that they can actually use to play, if they actually want to use those warlords and they don't want to have proxies. But at the same time, it also, as a collector, it's nice that it preserves the value of the original card, because if somebody really wants the original art and or basically the vintage aesthetic, then you're going to have to get the original card. Now, again, I understand people wanting to play the game. I understand people wanting to get the cards. I understand people wanting to have non-chibi versions. So there, it is a bit of a shame that they didn't have the original version available. But again, art is a major problem. I discussed this in my previous video, but it has been communicated that I believe AEG was not able to provide any art. And again, it's not any shade to AEG. It's just, it was a whole different world back then. Having files on a hard drive or on CDs or something, just files were not easy. They're not easy to find 15 years later. And not only that, even if they did have it, it's really important to note that I believe that the art contracts, so anything that was created for AEG was now 15 years ago or something, 17 years ago, because they stopped producing in 2007. So 17 years ago, I believe their contracts were for 10 years. So even if they did have all the files, Kingswood needs to go in and draw up new contracts with all these artists again. And unfortunately, there are some artists that have actually passed away. And so some of them are just not accessible. I don't know how much they've been able to recover. I don't know how many artists have versions of their art, because I know lots of artists actually sell their original art as well. So a lot of it just isn't available. There's a lot of problems with art. And so the chibis were a great way to kind of make a win-win-win solution. It's not perfect, but it gives people cards that they can play with. It satisfies people that really enjoy that kind of art. And it gives people cards that might not have otherwise been available that way. And the art was already there. It was I believe, a private initiative by one of the fans to create the chibi cards, and the fact they were already there kind of made it easy for them to be like, to get that agreement to use the art for those cards. All right, where are we now? So the art has been polarizing, yes, but I think it's a good step. And it also, again, like I mentioned, for the people that have the original card, it makes it still a little bit more special. Teddy says, I mean, I'm happy to pick up at least one box of Greed. I've been looking for 3 Incinerates, just debating what to do with the other 17 plus unique cards, but I surmise it'll be up for trade. Yes, I highly suggest you get, again, the 3 boxes of Greed, not only for the 3 Incinerates, but again, there's a lot of other valuable cards in there. And again, in the worst case scenario, you're going to be able to trade those away or sell them to people. There's going to be a lot of increased interest in Warlord once the product is on the shelves. There'll just be more eyeballs on it. It's just really hard right now. A lot of people just don't know it exists. EM says, I'm still looking for a playgroup. I'm living in Champaign, Illinois. Very Lucky says his store, or their store, sorry, is in Missouri. Again, I hope all of you are on the player map. If you're not on the player map, please make sure that you put yourself on the player map so people can find you. How are we doing now on the Kickstarter? Still at 592. We need another 8,000. We have 40 minutes to go. Get those boxes of Greed in. Again, I'm not shilling for it. I genuinely think that they're valuable, and that anybody who's on the fence about it is going to regret not getting them. Let's do another giveaway. Go for it. 1 through 10, and then I'll catch up with whoever with the other comments. 1 through 10. We need 2. Teddy, no, in order. Needs to be numerical order. So once 1 is up, then we need 2. Then we need 3, then we need 4. So there's 2, we need 3. No worries, no problem. All right, we need 4, 5, 6. Nope, Fanatics, we need 6 first. We need 6. There we go. Just Frank got 6. We need 7 and 8. 7 through 10. 8 through 10. 9 and 10. And we need 10. I'll do 2 drawings this time. We need a 10. Hey, Richard, welcome. All right, we need 10. Thank you. Wonderful. All right. So we got 8. Then we got 6. There we go. So 8 and 6. So Clappin, you get another one, and 6 is just Frank. Awesome. So 8 goes first. Let's see. 8, you are getting Adonis, the Cosner. Write that down before I forget. Not writing on the card. So 4. Clappin, you got card number 4. Remember to email me. And for just Frank, you are getting another Devranian. We got Lord Gahid Relian. One of the originals, but in the second form. He was from Campaign Edition. So just Frank, you won card number 5. Remember to email me your addresses. All right, let me look at some of these comments before they get lost. I remember that we had that issue last time. Zant Primus says, I remember the old boxes of greed. Yeah, I know. It's really cool to have them. Again, the lore is awesome. It's a shame they didn't actually explain them on the Kickstarter, because I'm sure a lot of people are just wondering, what's a box of greed? Why is it called a box of greed? Again, greed, free cards. That's what it was for originally. Just Frank says, love getting pulls from the box of greed. Yeah, it was epic back in its time. AEG was very unique in the way they created card games. They had a lot of very successful brands, and Warlord was just one of the successful brands. And again, this was an amazing initiative by AEG. And Meech 1889 says, can't decide 2 booster boxes and 2 boxes of greed, or 1 booster box and 3 boxes of greed. Meech, I highly suggest 3 boxes of greed and 1 booster box. Again, mostly because the boxes of greed are not going to be available after the Kickstarter. You will be able to add stuff on for about 3 weeks after the Kickstarter. But definitely lock in those boxes of greed. Make sure that you get them. At the end of the day, the booster boxes are going to be available basically worldwide for a very long period of time. I know that they mentioned that the base set of any arc, I don't know what they want to call them specifically right now, but the very first set, so the set that has starter decks, because they're not going to create starter decks for every set, supposedly. Again, things can change, but this is the information we have right now. That's going to be kind of the one that's most available for a while, until they phase that out. We don't know the exact time period. We don't know if it's going to be 2 years or if it's every couple of sets. I don't think they've said that yet specifically, but they will be cycling sets as they go. So it'll be available for a while. I would anticipate at least 2 years. Zant says, the box of greed was a wonderful way of doing prize support and to incentivize purchasing older packs. Yep, absolutely. You'll be able to get booster boxes later. Box of greed is just from the Kickstarter, yes. It has Morgan, Dan, Dragon Lord in the box. No, not yet, Zant. It does not have that, and I don't think we're going to get there. She is a... what's this called? An incentive? If we had gotten to 800,000, we would have had Morgan in it. Right now, we're just about to break 600,000, so hopefully we can get there. Corn chuckers. I don't know why they call them that, but okay. I guess... No, I have no idea. I wonder why they call them corn chuckers. But yeah, the stretch goal, I think we're only going to make it to the $600,000 stretch goal. I don't think we'll make it to the 620. I really wish we had gotten to the, 760? I would have really liked to get that Grave Exchange as a box topper extended art, but I'm sure they'll use it as a promo in the future. But yeah, Morgan, Dan, she is the stretch goal for 800,000. We are not going to make that, unfortunately. Even if you had somebody that had a lot of money, Kickstarter has a limit of $10,000 for a pledge. So unless you're doing a lot of accounts to get those pledges, you're not going to be able to do more than 10,000. And so for us to get, that high, you would need a lot of people doing a lot of different accounts. So fortunately, no, the Dragon Lord is not in the box of greed. Teddy said probably 1 box of greed for Alliance and 3 if you want to play Ancients. Skapeg says, name a price of the box of greed after 1 year. I believe that the box of greed will be easily worth $200, give or take, after a year, especially as singles. As a full box, probably 200 as a guesstimate. Again, it's at 120 right now. It's a limited release. It's only going to be available now for the next, 3 weeks technically, once you've already pledged for the Kickstarter. But after that, it's going to be secondary market, and then depends on how many people have actually ordered lots of boxes of greed. But as singles, hands down, it's going to be a $200 value at least. David Barnett says we are at 76 cards in the box of greed right now, but it'll be 80 if we get to 600,000. Yes, it will be 80 if we get to 600,000. Which is $1.50 per card. That's a huge deal. We're at 592, 300, 400. So we have $7,500 left. And we have 32 minutes to go. We'll give away a booster pack if we make to that 600,000. Let's see. So I think it's also 1 booster box or 3 booster boxes too, if you're interested in 1 set or a play set of box toppers. Yeah. Yeah, 3 booster boxes is the way to go if you want a play set of the box toppers. The issue at hand with those is simply that those are all cards that you're going to have available in the boxes themselves. They're just not as extended art, so those are going to be Kickstarter exclusive. For the Kickstarter starters, the extended art Warlords are Kickstarter exclusive, right? No, they're not, Teddy. They are not. For better or for worse, the starters are the worst product for you to get on the Kickstarter, only because there's nothing that's specifically Kickstarter exclusive for the starters. The starters will be widely available post Kickstarter. Your only advantage to getting the Kickstarter or the starters now during the Kickstarter is that they're discounted. So you're basically getting one of the starters for free if you were to order them now. But otherwise, I would highly suggest, like, if you are limited to getting one product or whatever number of products you want to order, I would highly suggest switching out a starter for either the booster box to get the box toppers or the box of greed to get the box of greed. I don't like Chibi, but I copy Fade Rowan, so I'm happy. Yes, that's Kyle Mooney. Yes, definitely. Again, like I said, Chibis, they're a trade-off. At least people are getting the cards. That's what really matters. Not a Chibi fan, it doesn't bother me either. Doesn't bother me either. Colat says, rest in peace, Quentin Hoover and William O'Connor. Yes, and there's actually another one. Another guy, Manning, I think his name was. I don't remember specifically, but he did the, what was the name of that helm? I have to go look this up now. Give me one moment. The Barbarian helm. Text Barbarian. And it is a type traits helm. Antlers of the Stag. Thomas Manning. That's what his name was. Antlers of the Stag. So here, I'll put that in the chat there, just in case anyone wants to look at it. So unfortunately, he is no longer with us either. Clapping Cardboard says, have they mentioned what the rarity symbols are? Star used to be rare, I think. Yes, they have mentioned the rarities. Basically, the rarities are going to be exactly the same. Circles for common, diamonds for uncommon, stars for rares. I assume they'll be doing the stars and circles for fixed rares. The ultra rares are going to be a starburst, apparently. Or the legendary, sorry. Whatever. Same thing. Clapping Cardboard says, I love Hoover's art. O'Connor, great as well. Yes. Russell is a huge fan of O'Connor. He has almost every single O'Connor art card ever printed. He's getting there. He's looking, and like across all the games, he's trying to collect every single one, which is wild. It's going to be an amazing collection once he gets there. David Barnett says, looks like you don't need a gym membership. You just need to build decks every week. Moving all those boxes would be a workout. Yes, it is a workout. It is absolutely a workout to move these boxes. Okay, catching up again. We just passed our last giveaway. Richard says, hey, I just saw this happening. Yeah, I wish I had done more live streams. I've been working really hard trying to get a lot of back-end stuff to happen. Anyway, Richard says, or no, Clappin. Going to play the lottery after this? Yes. Zant Primus, I'm cursed with the donuts. Opponents always makes the saves. Yes. He's an awesome warlord, though. He was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving him. I couldn't resist. So, like, the biggest thing I had to convince my local store to have the funds held up until October. That was the real hard part to sell them on. Well, the issue, I guess, yes, they do have funds tied up. But again, the pre-order, they have 3 or 4 more weeks to do pre-orders. So they have literally just $1 to lose if they were pledging. All they have to do is pledge $1, and they can wait for another 3 or 4 weeks to see interest and then make sales. Clapping Cardboard, thanks for the email. Just Frank, I bought a bit from you recently. It should be easy, but I'll still email. Okay, great. The Fanatics Boxer Greed was basically the big push from Zinzer to purchase product. Yes, from in the past, yeah. Good faith handshake to the FLGS. Corn Chucker is a play on words because it's a lot easier to say. Oh! Let's see that now. Still need 8,000 more. Corn Chuckers, though. I guess it's Sarine, probably. I think that was the deck type, because that's recent development. All right, let's do another giveaway. 1 through 10. Clapping Cardboard says he was hoping to get the Dragon Lord with the Box of Greed. Yes, we were all hoping for it. Fortunately, it's not going to happen. All right, 1, 2, there's 3. We need 4. Don't get ahead of yourselves, guys. There we go. We got 5, we got 6. We need 7 through 10. 7, we need 8. 9 through 10. 9 and 10. We just need 10 now. There we go. Fanatics, you got 10. All right. Do 2 here. We got a 6. And we got 4. See, I can't even roll. This is a 20-sided die, and I can't roll over 10. That's great. So 6 and 4. 6, that'll be Danny Hensby, and 4 is Clapping Cardboard. Look at you. So, let's see. Danny, you are getting... There we go. You're getting a Simon Abraxas from Eye of the Storm. And Clapping Cardboard, you are getting a Rack Ironborn from way back in Assassin's Strike. Congratulations. So Danny, you are card number 6, actually. Remember to email me your address. Email is in the description. Danny Hensby. There we go. 6. And Clapping Cardboard. You. What's that? Number 7. And is running out of ink. Clapping Cardboard. Number 7. All right, some questions again. Clapping Cardboard asks, are all those card boxes behind me Warlord cards? Yes, they are. Every single one is Warlord. There is nothing but Warlord in the boxes behind me, and they are all full. I mean, like, look, this one's open already. All Warlord. There you go. Warlord. They're all Warlord. They're all sorted. That's the other crazy thing. And they will all be available very soon. Now that the Kickstarter is done and I can focus entirely on sorting again. Again, the last almost 2 weeks have been nuts. Again, mostly the YouTube stuff of just trying to get stuff to people. Obviously with some sales coming in here and there. But yeah, it's been very busy. Week and a half, 2 weeks. Hey, Woodrew. Awesome to have you here. All right. Ed Cox, Derek Gross Sr. unfortunately is not with us anymore either. Richard says, I just remember that God Pack with all rares was a thing. Any word on if that'll be a thing again? They have addressed that. I don't think that'll be a thing for this first set, but I know that it's on their radar. They'll consider it. Woodrew is the guy we need when we're talking about artists. Yes, Woodrew is the guy that we need. Woodrew is the guy we need for everything. God packs and demigod packs were awesome. Yeah, it's crazy how even I opened a couple of packs recently, and there were 2 rares in them for whatever reason. That was, you know, it's not normal. It was a mistake. You're welcome, Danny. Thanks for coming by. Fanatics, who's okay? I'm done. Wow. No, you're not. TCG Bulk Kings, the content I like to see. I love boxes of sorted cards. Yes, I do too. I love boxes of sorted cards. Of all bulk and high value cards are nice. It is impressive, yeah. No, Colad, I am not the person to contact about singles. There are a couple of other people that are major singles sellers. I am not a fan of doing that. Just because I like the idea of I don't want to encroach on their business. My goal has always been to try and do, it's called Blue Ocean Strategies, to kind of do something different. And so these will all be available through sets. They will not be available as singles. If somebody really, really needs a couple of singles here and there, you can reach out to me and I might be able to help you out. But I am generally not a fan of selling singles. Ramon, you're a little late there. 11. It's only 1 through 10 right now. Just Frank, yeah, God packs kept people coming back for more if they got one. Yeah, I mean, if I remember correctly, the God packs, I think it wasn't just random. It was a box would be a box of God packs. So obviously, yeah, if you knew you had a box of God packs, that was a very valuable box. Yes, Clappin' Cardboard says he purchased one of my starter sets a year or so. I think that was great. And I'll be doing that again. It won't be the same, but it'll be very similar. The idea is obviously to be able to get lots of cards in lots of people's hands. I'm not a fan of single selling as well because it ends up, it's the equivalent of brain drain in a collection. Obviously, there's a lot of cards that some people don't need. They're not key cards, but they're usable. And so if people just want to play the game, then you want to make sure they get a bit of everything, not just the high-end cards that are super popular that everybody wants. A Torn Yiskar, you know, if I were to sell singles, those would be some of the first cards that would disappear from the collection very quickly. And so the idea is to try and make it as even as possible for everybody, and be able to just to get cards in people's hands. All right, next giveaway, 1 through 10, guys. Perfect. I mean, TCG Bulk Kings, you got to go in numerical order. So the first person to get a certain number in numerical order from 1 through 10 is the person that gets that number. So we've got 1, 2, we got 3, we got 4, we got 5, we got 6. We need 7 through 10 now. There's 7, 8 through 10. No worries, I know. If it was random, then it would just be a pain to figure out who gets what number. So it's easy to just go down the row in order. We need 9 and 10. Thanks, Colette. Yeah, I think it'll be very popular, so I'm very excited to get it launched, but I have to get it launched, so it still takes a lot of time, and it's a lot of cards. Need a 10, and then we can roll. Great, Ramon got 10. Awesome. All right, so rolling twice. There's a 9. I still can't roll over a 10. And so, Lucky, you suck. You got... Oh, no, sorry, that 9 was for Danny again. Sorry, Lucky. Not so lucky this time. 19, which is 9 again. No, let's do it. Let's re-roll that. 14. All right, so I finally rolled over 10 twice, but that's 4. So Danny, you get 1, and Teddy, you get 1. So Danny, you are getting... there we go, just cut. And Danny, you're getting a Soralin Devrinian. You're getting lots of Devrinians out for people. Write that down before I forget. Danny, that is card number 8. This is a very tight sleeve. And then we said Teddy, right? Yeah. So Teddy, you are getting... Oh. Teddy, you're getting a Gethsemane Steel Shard, but from the 4th edition version, which is the updated MRP. It's very good. And that is card number 9, Teddy. Remember to email me. Email is in the description. Email me your address, and I'll get those out to you next week. All right, let's take a look at the Kickstarter. Hopefully we're a little bit higher now. It's gonna be nail biting. We're super close. Can we make it to 600,000? 593. We need 7,000 more. We have 16 minutes. It's gonna be very, very close. All right, let's go again. 1 through 10. I got a lot of warlords to give away. There we go. We got 1, we got 2, we need 3 through 10. Here we got 4, we need 5 through 10. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, we need 8 through 10. 8, 9, and 10. Not 70, we need through 10. I need a 10. There we go. And he got 10. All right. So that is 11, but it's 1. So number 1. Derek, you got 1 this time. Awesome. And rolling again. 7. Matthew, you got another 1. Yes, Matthew gets 1. So Matthew and Derek. So Derek, you're getting Rollin. Awesome, awesome Deverinian. And Matthew, you're getting a Gothak. Both of them scouts. That is Derek. Derek, that is card number 10. You don't need to email me. And Matthew, you got card number 11. Yeah, no, I can't resist rolling a 1. Claw. If you haven't moved in the last 4 weeks, Matthew, I have your address already. All right, how are we doing? Passing, we're getting there. Under 7,000. What was my favorite Warlord set? Clapping Cardboard asks. I love them all, obviously. I mean, come on. No, one of my favorite sets, I think, was the Champion set. The Champion set was a really awesome set. The Warlords were all very powerful. It was a limited set. It was kind of scary because they actually sold out of the first version, and then I think they reprinted, because there's actually 2 versions of Champions. The only difference is the date on the side, but you can tell that if it was a first version or second version by the year. The first version was printed in 2005 and the second version was in 2006. And the actual product itself is different. So I believe the first version came with the box. I have one of those now. I didn't have them in the past. Pull one of these down without falling. So this is the box that it came with. Very cool, tall box. Show off some of the different sides there. Is that the right way up? No, that way. So yeah, it was a direct-to-player set. In reality, it's a very small set. It only has the 6 Warlords and then 2 cards per faction additionally. They're just really cool, and the art was amazing. That was an awesome set. And so again, I believe they sold out, and then they resold them again because they were so popular. They were designed by people who won tournaments. And so, yeah, those are all people back here. Close up of the back of the box. And yeah, just I think that set, and then the Call to Arms set was also amazing. The Call to Arms set having been almost entirely designed by players. I think both the idea of players in having any involvement in the design of cards is very fascinating to me. And it obviously means that we get some designs that are a little bit from left field. And it's crazy that a lot of the cards from Call to Arms are actually some of the most powerful and desirable cards today. It's a huge set as well. It's basically 2 sets in one. There's a Call to Arm Power and Call to Arm Glory. And one of them was, I can never remember which is which. I think Power would have been Wizards and, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Maybe Wizards and Fighters, and the other one would have been Rogues and Clerics or something like that. I don't know for sure if they were straight split down those lines. Yeah, I'd love to open some of those packs on the channel at some point just to really clear that up. But I do know that that was the idea, is that basically one of the packs is almost entirely 2 classes and the other pack is almost entirely 2 classes. So those are 2 of my favorite sets out there. But I mean, they're all awesome. There's lots of, each set has some amazing things in it. I really like 4th edition as well. A lot of people give 4th edition a lot of hate, but I think 4th edition was an interesting edition to be playing. It was too balanced, unfortunately, but it was a lot of fun. Favorite faction and favorite class. I used to be a huge fan of fighters, but now I'm a big fan of wizards. I've been challenging myself to do, when I have time really to play. I haven't had a lot of time recently, but I've been challenging myself to play spell slinging wizards. I think it's a lot harder just because you depend on the actual physical cards and not so much like the cards in hand and not so much the cards in play. Just because spells are obviously cards in your hand. And so if you run out of spells, then you run out of gas. And that's the biggest problem. Whereas fighters are innately strong. And once you put stuff on them, they stay on them usually. So like items, and those can stay in place so you can maintain your strength. So that feels like an easier way to play. Clerics, I've never been a huge fan of, just because in general, it feels like the best offense is not a defense. And then you've got the rogues. Rogues are interesting as well. I really like the shooty, pew pew rogues. I don't really like, I mean, I don't mind. Assassin rogues are pretty cool as well. But again, it's a very kind of, I think if I had to choose one, Tasia is probably one of my favorite assassin rogues, warlords out there. Let's get back to the Kickstarter and see how we're doing. We've got like 9 minutes left. 9 minutes left, and we have $5,000 to go. We're at 595,000. Oh, we're so close. Come on. So close. All right. Champion set was great. Uthanac Monk and Trevane were my favorite, Guillaume says. I never played the Uthanac Monk, but I did hear a lot about it, and I actually found an AEG Stafford deck or something in my research. So I've been collecting some of the older deck lists as I found them. At some point, our channel, or rather not the channel, the website in the description below, the warlordcards.com, that will have some support for decks. So be sure that when you're signing up for the player map thing, make sure to put your email in there. There will be accounts, and we will working on it. It'll get better. Xanth Primus says, I got the small box for champions, but it came with a foil belt of... Whoa, what? Small box for champions? What small box for champions? A foil belt of champions. Those are stupid rare. The belt of champions, for those that aren't aware, let me pull that up quickly. You are here. Okay. That is the Belt of Champions, if anyone wants to take a look. Basically, the Belt of Champions was a card that they gave out to champions, the people who won major tournaments. I don't know the specific criteria, but there are foil versions of it, and again, the foil version is just impossible to find. There are very, 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 very few of them. Another really rare card to find that I have never even, I think I've seen a picture of it once, is a foil limited wish. I found proof that it exists. I saw that on the AG website, they were selling them for $15 in the past. If anyone has a foil limited wish, those would be worth a stupid amount of money right now because they're just impossible to find. I've never seen one in person. Let's see. How are we doing here? 6 minutes to go. $5,000 left. Guillaume says Barbarian Uthnak, not with monks. Okay. Here, I have 2 of this box in Brazil. Yes. They're very hard to find. I only got them recently, actually, a few years ago, so they are collector's items. Players designing cards, such a cool idea. Yeah, actually, one of the things that AEG was super innovative in what they did. On their website, they actually had a place to submit ideas. So whenever you had a card idea, you could just jump onto their website and send it. But I know that with Call to Arms, they actually requested to the player base and said, hey, if you've got an idea for a card, just send it in. That's where Adarimi comes from. And again, I know the designer, he was a teacher of mine in high school, which is nuts. I actually have a signed card of his, which is pretty funny. And it wasn't mine. I didn't get him to sign it. I found it in a collection and I looked at the signature and I was like, that's not the artist. And then I sent him a picture. I was like, is that your signature? And he's like, yeah, that's mine. That's hilarious. Really random. Five minutes to go. And we're still at 5,000. No. Favorite Warlord by looks and style, not their ability. Looks and style, not their ability. That's hard because by ability, I love Paladins. Looks and style. I mean, no, not, what's his name? Hold on. Let's see, Paladin and Warlord and Sir Alaron. There we go. Sir Alaron as looks, I think he's amazing, and I love obviously his abilities, everything about him. It's cool that we're getting a new version of him in the Box of Greed. Don't get me started on Laird John. I think he's awesome. I've never played him, but he looks like a super fun range strike warlord. Callout says, power was wizards and rogues, glory was fighters and clerics. I've just opened up some packs on my channel last week. I needed the glory packs, done the cards I wanted. Nice. That's awesome. I did see those videos. I didn't get a chance to watch them yet because, again, I've been super saturated, but I have them on my to-watch list. So I will watch them. Eric C. Hi, lads. Warlord's back. Kapow. Yes, Warlord is back. And we're almost done. 4 minutes left on the Kickstarter. Get those boxes of greed, people. Yes, I put my name on the Warlord player map and actually found 2 players close to me. I'll message them. Yep, that's what it's for. Clappin' Cardboard says, my favorite looking Warlords are King Zod, Connor Art, yeah, Connor Art, and Tersoth. Yeah, Tersoth is both of them are huge fan favorites. This is based on my limited knowledge, though, so I'm sure there's more I'd really like to. Eric C., please write your name on the locator if you're from Ireland. Yes, Ireland's an awesome country. I love going to Ireland. Hopefully we'll go back soon. I didn't realize there were players over there, but it's awesome that there are. Dave, time to dump some Warlord money. I've already dumped too much. And I'm sure there'll be more, for sure. David says, I can't add any more to the Kickstarter. And we all need to add just a little bit more. We're almost there. 2 minutes to go. No, and we went down a little bit. We still need $5,000. Maybe the nice fellows running the Kickstarter will round up to 600,000 for us. We'll see, we'll see. Riddler, hey everybody. Escape Riddler, what's up? Hanging out, how about you? Just hanging out, just... We got a lot of backers though, that's awesome. The backer number has really shot up because we were at like 1,200 backers about a week ago, I think. And now we're at 1740. So that's 50% more backers is awesome. Still going up a little bit, but we need a lot more. We're close to almost 4,000 left to go. We're at 2 minutes left. Last push. All right, let's do another giveaway while we wait. 1 through 10. Oh, we're at 30. You know what? We can do 1 through 20. Let's do 1 through 20. There's 2. We need 3. You have to, Korosu, you guys have to, is there a way to extend a deadline? No, there is no way to extend the Kickstarter deadline. Numbers have to be numerical order, so you can't pick random numbers, Eric. Eric and Korosu, you have to follow the numbers. And Scape, you have to follow the numbers. So here we've got, the Fanatics gets 1, David Burnett gets 2. Here we've got Clap and Cardboard, he gets number 3, Teddy's got number 4. Here we got Frank has number 5. Guillaume has number 6. Matt has number 7. Eric has 8. We need 9 through 20 still. Escape has 9. We need 10 through 20. We have 52 seconds to go. Here we've got 10, we've got 11. We need 12 through 20. $13 through 20 now. 14 through 20. 15 through 20. 15 seconds to go. We need 4,000. 3,500 left. We have 10 seconds. No. 5 seconds. $4,000 left. 2, 1. All right, we're done. We did 596,000. We just missed it. $1,742 backers. So those are the final numbers there. All right, let's get back to this giveaway. Where are we? We have 11, we have 12, we have 13, we have 14, 15, 16. There we go. Danny's got 16. We need 17 through 20. $18, $19, $20. And then we'll do the giveaway. We need 18, 19, and 20. It's the first person who gets the number in the right order. So like you can't do 20 before 19 comes up. So we got 16, we have 17, we have 18. We need 19 and 20. There's 19 and we need 20. Perfect. All right. It's going to be a lot harder now because there's a lot of mixed up numbers in there. Okay. 5. All of that work. So we got 5. We got 12. I'm going to write those down before I forget. 5, 12, and we'll do one more. We got a 20. There you go. Nice. 5, 12, and 20. So we'll do 3 drawings now. So 5, you are getting Sorsha. And that is, oh boy, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, Frank Kali. Hello? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. That is card number 12. So you have to email me your address. My email is in the description box. That is card number 12. Frank Kalal. All right. Yours did Meech, but yours is the third 5, unfortunately. So I go, yeah, in order. The first person who put a 5 is Frank, so he's the one that gets assigned that number. Number 12. So yeah, the first person, 12, Derek. Nice. You want another one, Derek? Congrats. We're giving you a Sir Bobby. Sir Bobby. Awesome. He was my first warlord. First warlord. What was her name? The one from Assassin's Strike. She was my second one. Sir Bobby was my very first. So Derek, that is card number 13. And we have one more. The last giveaway is for number 20. So here we've got Kurosu, 762. So you're getting Lassen Warbreaker. Congratulations, Kurosu. You need to email me your address. My email's in the description. And that is card number 14. Annie MK says, hello, I wanted to say I've played Warlord a ton since the game was new and was super excited to see this come back. I wanted to ask how important are damage types in this version? I don't know how important they are, honestly. I have not heard the exact way that they're going to influence the game. I know that they've done a couple of different ones. In 4th edition, there were certain cards that had weaknesses to damage types. So I don't know if you've ever played Pokemon, but I know that in Pokemon, basically, if you had weakness to a certain type, you would get like 2x the damage or something. So I think that's how it's going to work. And it might also go the other way, whereas there might be like resistance to certain types of damage. But I have not seen any cards specifically that address that yet. Guillaume says, maybe click away. Says, great job. Thank you so much for bringing back the game to us. I didn't bring it back. I'm doing what I can to help the cause. I keep saying help the war effort, but I did not bring it back. That is Kingswood. Kingswood is doing that. They are awesome, though. We all love that they're doing this. Danny just has like all the numbers. Danny does not have all the numbers. He wrote a lot of the wrong numbers at the wrong time, unfortunately. Oh, it's first on yours. Sorry, Meech. No, on mine, I see the other one. Frank Halal, son of a Jorl. I think damage types are going to be more important in later sets, but I think right now they're fairly minimal. Yeah, right now, I mean, again, there's only so much that they can explore. It's a 340 card set, and they are, they're reprinting about 120 old cards, but it's still a relatively small set compared to, I think CE was 690 cards. It was a huge set. I read that there will be resistance to certain types. Yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty sure that they'll explore both options. They'll explore certain, just like 4th edition. I can remember Ice Elemental. I think he was like weak to fire. Where is this? Here. Yeah, here we go. So here's an example of what damage could look like. So Ice Elemental is very weak to fire. I don't remember a card that has resistance to something. I believe there's something out there, but yeah. Just laying the groundwork to explore those mechanics in later sets. That way they don't have all the older cards without the mechanic involved. Yep. Have they talked about release such like 2 or 3 sets a year? Yes, they have. They have mentioned that their goal, they originally said 4 sets a year, and they've now reduced that to 3 sets a year plus supplemental products. So they do plan on doing other products. They have not said when they're going to do any other products for older, like for reprint products for Ancients and Alliance. But I'm assuming that's what they hint at when they say auxiliary products, because they mentioned that the decks are only going to be for each like main, I guess core set is the right term, especially from Magic. So basically, this is the core set for this arc, and they will only be producing starter decks for core sets. So the other sets apparently won't have starter decks, which is interesting, but yeah, that's what they said. All right, so we got 23 people. Let's do another 10 person giveaway. 1 through 10 people. We'll do 3 more giveaways, and then we'll be done. Let's try and get up to 20. So numbers, we got 1, we have 2. Nix, you have to go in numerical order, Nix. We have 3, we have 4, we have 5, we need 6 through 10. Skip Egg got 6, we have 7, there we go, we need 8 through 10. We need 9 and 10. Danny's got 9, we need 10. Danny, you already have 9, you're not going to get 10. Danny, David's getting 10, great. All right, 1 through 10. So this is 5 is the first one. So that will be Very Lucky I Suck. And 4. We're only doing 1 through 10 now, Guillaume. 4 is Meech. There you go, Meech, you got 1. Right? Yes, Meech, you got 1. So that's... All right, so 5 is for Lucky I Suck. You're getting a Kerberos. You didn't already get that, did you? If anyone gets more than 1 of the same Warlord, I will send you a different one. Oh, at random. So I need to grab some sleeves. So that is card number 15. And for Meech, we said, right? Yeah, Meech. So Meech, you're getting a Duchess. There we go. That's who I was talking about. So Robert was my first Warlord, and this was my second Warlord. She's awesome. I really love her. She's great for playing, what do they call them? Big friends? Basically, level 4 and 5 fighters and just sending them to the front. But yeah, still one of my favorites. And that is card number 16, Meech. You have to email me your address, and I'll get those out next week. Great. All right, let's do another one. Get 20. We want to give away 20 Warlords at least. So, yep. Fanatics is 1. I need 3 through 10. 2 through 10. 3 through 10. 4. 6 through 10. It's numerical order, guys. I don't know if there's a lag there, but yeah, we're at 7, we're at 8, we need 9 and 10. Perfect, 9 and 10. All right. 2. The first one. And 9. 2 and 9. So 2 is going to get a Rack Ironbone. And that is Nix. Congratulations, Nix. think I have your address from the last time, but if I don't, please email me again. That is card number 17. Next. And 9 is going to be very lucky I suck. You got another one. Congratulations. You don't suck very much here, that's for sure. Logan Ebenwolf from the original set. There are like 30, I don't remember specifically, but there's like 30 different warlords here. At least. Very lucky, and that is card number 18, very lucky. All right, one more giveaway. 1 through 10. Four through 10. 5 through 10. We got 5, we got 6, we have 7, we need 8 through 10. 8, 9, and 10. Now we need 10. One more, we just need 10. Perfect. Thank you, Frank. All right. That'll be 9. So that is going to be Matthew. Nice. I think you won 3 last time, as 4 last time as well. And 7. Nietzsche, congratulations, you won another one. All right. So 9 and 7. So Matthew, you're getting a Khan. We haven't seen him yet today. He's really cool. I'm surprised people don't play him more often. But yeah, your other Free Kingdoms Rangers and Scouts have stealth +5. Giving a lot of stealth is amazing. And 7, so that is Meech. Meech, you are getting... Oh, we already... Yeah, okay. We already gave that out, but there's Simon Abraxas, right? Yeah, Simon Abraxas. Mercenary. Also very cool. Sears. So 9. Matthew, you got number 19. Sure, give me 1 second. I'm terrible at doing multiple things at the same time. 7, so that was, we said, Meech, yes. Meech, you got card number 20. All right. Clip-in Cardboard asks, can I explain the stealth ability a little bit? Yes, stealth is 2, maybe 3 abilities considered, but basically stealth, if you're in the front rank, you can roll a DC 20, and if you succeed, you spend into the opposing first rank. The other ability is once per turn in your army, you can roll a DC 20 before being targeted with a melee or range strike to cancel that strike or make it a critical failure if you succeed with that roll. And if you're in an opposing army, you can use that ability 1 time per level of your character during that turn. So basically it's a limited order when it's in your ranks, and it's a multi-limited order when you are actually stealth in another army's ranks, which is pretty powerful. It's a really powerful ability, which is why right now Giant Bat has exploded in value, because it's movement and stealth. I don't remember that being a very powerful card, or at least a very popular card in the past, but for whatever reason, it's exploded in value. There it is. Danny Hensby says, can you explain how ranks work for putting out high-level characters or creatures? They work in that you have to have the ranks to be able to play a card. So one of the basic rules of Warlord is that you cannot play a character if it causes an illegal rank. So let's say you want to play a level 5 character and you only have your first 3 ranks from like a starting army. You need to have a 4th character, or a character in your 4th rank, in order to be able to play that level 5 character in a legal rank. Because if you played it in the 5th rank and nothing in the 4th, that would be automatically an illegal rank and it would fall forward, and that's illegal. And so basically you actually have to have the ranks to play characters. Now, there's a lot of ways to play with that. There's a lot of cards that allow you to bring cards in closer. So let me find an example here. I'll send that over. I think it's level 3 type action, wizard, and saga. I think it's saga. Text. There we go. Summon ally. So summon ally says, before you put a character into play in your army, reduce the character's entry rank by 1 to a minimum of 1. So basically, if you have a level 5 character and you want to put it into play and you don't have a level 4 or a 4th level rank, 4th rank, whatever, you can use that card to be able to play it into the 4th rank. And so there's a couple of cards that do that. But otherwise, you actually have to make the ranks. Now, there's a bunch of cards that also allow you to basically play them in any rank, and those are super useful. Let me see. I think one is Sir Yuwayne. Yeah, so here's one example of that, where you can play a card in any rank of your army. Sir Yuwayne. So it's a Devernian. He says he may enter play in any rank in your army. I don't think that actually requires you to be a Devernian, which is nuts, because it's a specific, like it's a fixed text, which is kind of nuts. I've never really thought about that. So essentially, Sir Yuwayne can be in any army, I think, and come into play in any rank, which is pretty awesome. Obviously, he's not very powerful, but the fact that he allows you to build ranks is pretty strong. Paymaster is another example of that. Paymaster Core. This guy. He does that as well. Clapping Cardboard says, stealth sounds like a fun mechanic. And then Just Frank says, until you face the Altis Dragon Lord. Yeah, Altis is pretty nuts. And because he's a Dragon Lord, he can use stealth many times, especially if he's stealth into your ranks. Altis Dark Card. I specifically sent him a few times to some of the YouTubers because I thought they would be very confused about the card positioning. It was obviously a really cool concept, again, by AEG. Here we got Danny. He says, thanks, makes sense now. Couldn't find that clearly explained. Yeah, it's a different concept for sure. Warlord is pretty unique in the sense that we don't have like energy or mana. Warlord, you just play the cards that you have whenever you want to, but you need to be able to play them, and that's what makes it difficult. And obviously, higher level cards are difficult to play. Let's see, over here. Here, Clapping Cardboard asks, do I have a favorite item? I think the art for the Chosen, so faction, my favorite faction is the Chosen mostly. I'm a huge fan of a lot of different factions, but the Chosen is really fun. And their weapon is one of my favorite like arts for items. It's the Weeping Crescent. It was only available as a promo, so it's relatively hard to find now. But I think that's really cool art. And it was really thematic and on theme, I think, when they created it. Basically, there were faction weapons that came from the original set, Saga of the Storm, and you would get them in the decks, or the mercenary weapon, I think you had to get as a card in the pack. But yeah, so when 4th edition was launched, because it had a new faction, it was very on theme for them to release a weapon for the new faction. What was the gold for? The gold for what was for trading, basically for promos and other stuff. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, like that Yeah, gold pieces, 25,000. I don't remember. I haven't, in my research in the last couple of weeks, I didn't find anything that specifically showed what you could trade it for. I did find it for the XP, which I mentioned earlier. Again, there was so this is the XP from AG. That's what they were using, basically for sales and promos and trade-ins. But 4th edition, the idea was to do that with gold pieces. You would get those as prizes for tournaments and stuff. So that was pretty cool. They're actually really hard to find now. So like if you find any cards that are just gold pieces and not anything else, because they did a lot of items that are already existing in the game as gold pieces, and so those are kind of awkward, just because like it's the exact same card. There are very few cards that were different. I can think of Axe of Turgoth was different, so that was pretty cool. The fact that they changed the art on that. Let me see, hold on. So the Axe of Turgoth is usually blue art. Send that in a sec here. So that one is the blue art. And then the promo that was a treasure with gold pieces on it has red art. Minor difference, but it was kind of cool to have something a little bit different. Do you think Kingswood will do like what AEG did and sell certain promo cards directly from their site? I don't know if they're going to do that. I know that Kingswood is very much against unique cards being not available to the public in general. I'm sure that they'll have some stuff available relatively exclusively for a bit, but they want to make sure that people have access to everything. So, for example, like with Dragon Lords, as soon as they launch a Dragon Lord, I believe 6 months later is kind of the time period that they've given us. They will be released in a set to be able to be used in a tournament setting. Now, one big distinction is that it'll have different art, and also the ones that are available in the packs will not be signable for challenges. So they're just for basically play use. They're not for challenge use. So I don't know if they're going to be selling anything, but I do know that they will be kind of they're very conscious about giving people unique cards. Cards like Limited Wish is what I'm kind of talking about. Yeah, I would be very surprised if they did not continue with the culture of Limited Wish. That's for sure, because that has been something that's been going on for a long time, and obviously it's great that it's for a cause. So I'm pretty sure they would continue Limited Wish or something similar. David Barnett says, I ripped 12 packs of Counterattack for my TikTok the other day, and I couldn't bring myself to throw the packs away because of the XP. Yeah, I do that as well. I actually, like, just, again, the products is why I've got so many of these empty boxes. The products are just so old now that there aren't that many of them available. And it's not that they're particularly valuable, but just for their art, it's really cool. And you know what, actually, specifically, there's a graphic designer that I was in touch with who actually designed some of the logos for some of the sets, and he specifically mentioned that he wanted to have some of them physical products because he didn't have any. He had never gotten any. So I'm going to be shipping him some of those as well. So it's kind of cool that I have, you know, extra just like boxes and packs with those logos on them, and that I can do that. So that's pretty cool. Luis Gutierrez, he says, remember how you were supposed to lose a treasure if you lost the match, or am I misremembering? You're not misremembering. That is definitely a thing. The older treasures were like that. So AEG produced a bunch of promo treasures in the in Saga. They didn't do very many of them, but you could generally get them originally from the big battle boxes, the red ones. And yeah, originally those were like anti-cards where like if you put them into play and you lost, you'd have to give them to your opponent. Do I own any original art? I do actually. I actually just recently acquired a few. I wasn't looking for them, but somebody who knows that I am always looking for stuff reached out to me and said, hey, I've got this stuff. I don't know if you want it. And yeah, I couldn't say no. So I do have a couple of original art pieces, which are really cool. I haven't actually even opened them yet because I just haven't had time, but I have the package right over there. So I'm excited to do that. Now that the Kickstarter is finally over, it's unfortunate we didn't make the 600,000. We were so close. But yeah, now that the Kickstarter's over, I can get back to like normal order of business, which is organizing all this stuff and moving on with everything. But yeah, I do have some original art, and that's pretty cool. All right, so unless anyone has any more questions, I think we're good for today. Give away 20 Warlords. I've still got a big stack of stuff to give away, so hopefully we'll do some more of these soon. I think the next live I'll do will be once I've actually launched this. Okay. Frank here's giveaway, and he just starts throwing numbers out. Fine, we'll do one more. Go. We'll do one more, and then we'll go. We'll do one more. Go. Frank's got one. Do 2 through 10, and then we're done. Yeah, I can't wait for my sale either. Mostly because I just want to get on with it. I want it to be done. And I can't wait to actually get cards to people. And a lot of people are complaining. I don't want to say complaining, like that's a negative word, but you know, people are unhappy with the fact that cards are so hard to get right now. And so they're going to be expensive cards. Some people are going to be mad about that, but I'm making a concerted effort to make sure that there's a wide variety of cards available at different values, so that people can get cards to play. No, nothing to be sorry about, Frank. I want to give them away. I just don't want it to be too repetitive either. But yeah, so we got 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, got 6, I've got 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome, Frank. Well, you already got 1, Frank. Someone else give me a 10. All we need is a 10. Somebody who hasn't already given a number, throw out a 10, and then we can do the giveaway. Bobby Drone. All right, you got 10. Awesome. All right, let's roll. We got 3. I can't roll. And 6. There we go. 3 and 6. 3 and 6. So 3 is the Fada. Awesome. The Fada, you get 1. So let's do you first. You are getting a Corios Bodak, Elf Warlord. You just have to email me your address so that I can get that out to you next week. And that is card number 21. If you could mention it, that would help me greatly. And that is the Fada. And 6 is Guillaume. All right. Guillaume, you're getting 1. You're going to have to tell me how to pronounce your name. I don't want to pronounce your name wrong forever. Guillaume, you're getting a Chosen Narm Sin. There we go. I think, it's funny to end on this. I was very disappointed, and every time I see this, I'm still constantly disappointed. So this is Narm Sin, and his whole shtick is to basically go buff. And he transforms and gets a bunch of bonuses. And it's a shame that this being a promo, because this isn't the original one, shame that this being a promo, they didn't make it like a token to use his like updated stats. And so that was a huge missed opportunity, I think, for flavor and everything. But anyway, Guillaume, that is number 22. Please email me. My email's in the description. Email me your address and I'll get that out to you. Thanks for tuning in from Brazil. There's a huge group of people in Brazil that play Warlord. Can't wait to get down there. I love traveling, and I have not been to Brazil yet, so, or South America to be specific. Yanni says, thanks for the show and thanks for the prizes. Guillaume says, nice. Don't have this Warlord, neither in Brazil, where all my collection is. Frank says, thank you for the stream. Thanks for the stream. My pleasure. Oh, but you live in the US. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I think you mentioned that you were in Illinois. You're an animal. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you all for joining me on the stream. And like I said, right now my next priority is finishing this up. And as soon as this is done, I would love to do another live stream, and hopefully everybody joins me, and I'll do more giveaways. Thanks again for watching. Congratulations to Kingswood Games for launching and finishing their Kickstarter, and we can't wait. All of us are super excited about the product. We can't wait to get it in hand. yeah, hopefully soon. Good luck to everybody. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. I will show the art next time, as soon as I open the packages. Thanks again. Take care, everybody.